Good morning, guys. It is Saturday, November 30th. It's almost the end of the month. I have that PlayStation 4 giveaway going. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to the top 10, if not even the top 5, but we'll see what happens. If I'm not able to give it away because the stipulations were to get to the top 5, the top 10-ish, I'll give some cash away, or we'll move it on to the next month, which the prize will be even more, plus I'll still have the PlayStation giveaway, and it'll be a great Christmas present for you guys. But anyway, check my blog out over there, fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. Check everything over there. I have been moving up in the ranks. I'm now 14th. I dropped down to 15th, went back up to 14th, got to 13th, back down to 14th. So I'm all over the place right now. I'm trying to get my word out there, so hopefully you guys help me. What this one is going to be about is NFL Week 13 top 10 by positions and top 5 by tight ends. So let's get right down to it. The article is already up. I'm going to attach this video to it when this uploads, and hopefully this helps you guys out for Week 13. Get ready for the playoffs next week. Good luck if you're in the playoffs. If you're not in the playoffs, sorry, you had a bad year. This again, obviously, is with year-long leagues. These have nothing to do with year-long leagues. Everything I give here mostly deals with daily fantasy sports, who to pick, who to drop, who to start, who to sit, who to look for, waiver wires, stuff like that. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with QBs. My number one QB that I want to go with this week is fresh off a bye, Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks. I think he's my favorite QB or player of the week. And he plays at home, which they have the 12th man. They have the loudest stadium. And I think he does really well against New Orleans. I think they beat New Orleans this week. I think the home crowd, the way they're going to play, the way they're off the bye. Now you got Percy Harvin in. I think he's going to do good. That's how I think. And I hope I'm right. I hope you guys take my advice and are right too. So let's keep going. Number 2 is Colin Kaepernick. I know it's a stingy St. Louis Rams defense. Colin Kaepernick had a great game against the Washington Redskins. I think he continues that. I think he might get sacked by Quinn a couple times, but I think he's still going to do it. What the San Francisco 49ers need to do is get Frank Gore involved more. Now, I'm not upset, but last week in my year-long league, I was down 15, and I had Alfred Morris and I had Frank Gore going. I'm like, that's easy. That is easy, guys. Guess what? They pooped the pants. Why? Don't know. It was awful. And I went up against a guy who has never played all year. He made a team and he never sets his lineup. He sets his lineup that last week and he beats me. And I'm not very happy about that, but what can you do? I'm still going to go to the playoffs. I've got the second best record, so whatever. Not mad. Let's keep going. Third one might surprisingly be Nick Foles. His numbers are unreal so far. He has been named the starter. Vic says he's happy for him. There's no way Vic's happy for him, but he might be happy because he makes $100 million to sit on the bench. It's probably not too bad. But Nick Foles is on fire, and the Cards defense has been good. I think they're going to make him pass it a lot. But if you've seen, he passes a ton. Connects with Riley Cooper. He's got Deshaun Jackson. He's got all these weapons. I think Nick Foles and the Eagles, I'm going to say it. I'm going to go out there now. I'm going to say they make the playoffs. I'm going to say they beat the Cardinals this week. Number 4 is Andy Dalton, also coming off of a bye and going up against San Diego. San Diego's secondary is not that good. Andy Dalton's got weapons. He's going to throw it to A.J. Green all day. A.J. Green's going to have a great game, I guarantee. And it's a perfect matchup. San Diego gives up the long ball. Dalton can pass the long ball. He's got those weapons. He's going to get in there. The Bengals are going to beat the Chargers. It's going to be a good day for Andy Dalton. And his prices on Daily Fantasy Sports in the middle. So, I mean, you can build your lineup around it, and I might have an article about that later. But let's move on before this video is way too long. Number 5 is Carson Palmer. And going up against the Eagles defense has not been that good. It's their offense that have won them games. Their defense kind of just held them down. They could have more wins and big wins if not for them. Carson Palmer's been playing unreal as of late, and it doesn't make any sense. He's always been that guy who could be good, and he's never had that potential. He's got that potential now. Look for him to do good things. I'm going to sneeze. I apologize. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's move on. Eli Manning. Eli Manning's pooped his pants way too many times more than he's actually not pooped his pants. But he's in there for me. He's been doing good lately. Will we see that out of him this week? Hope so for you guys. He's that low price, take him. He's that boomer bust. He can get you up to the top, or he can poop his pants and go down to the bottom. We just don't know. Number 7's Cam Newton. Cam has been really good. I mean, there's not much more to say. He's on fire right now. He's got a matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who won last week. I think Carolina's going to run all over them. Cam Newton's going to have a couple rushing touchdowns. They're going to win. Let's move on. Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is that one that they're either going to have a good game or they're going to have a bad game, and it's the defense that needs to stop. Andrew Luck's good, but it's just he's always had a bad game, but when he has a bad game, he follows it up with a good game. He had a bad game last week. I think he follows it up with a good game this week. I have no predictions for this game. I say the Colts win. I don't know how close it's going to be, and I really don't know how he's going to do this year. But yeah, next up is RG3. Who are we going to see in RG3? I don't know. He's down at the bottom of the list, but you know he has to be in that list every week. But I don't know what he's going to do. The thing is, he's going up against the Giants, who their defense was bad the first of the year, but now they've won all these games. I don't know. I think RG3 is going to have a good game. I hope he hands it off to Alfred Morris because that helps me, but doesn't really help his value. He can run, he can throw, but he's going to, as much as he runs, I feel he's going to hurt his ACL. Just like D Rose did at the Bulls, he's going to hurt himself again. It's just a matter of time. But hopefully, if you're still in the playoff run and you use him, we get him through. He's good to go, get you through the week. If you're doing daily fantasy sports, he's going to provide that points for the price, but it's iffy. So he's at the bottom of my list, so wishy-washy on him. Josh McCown, he's good. He might be just as good as a starter as he was a backup, and he's in that role for a little bit longer. Going up against the Vikings defense, defense I feel is a joke. It's just sometimes the Vikings have a good game. I don't think they're going to have a good game against the Bears. The Bears defense is hurt, but I still think they're going to dominate. I think McCown's going to do just as well. He's going to have a couple passing touchdowns. He can run a little bit. He's not a fast runner, but he can get you scramble, get you open, throw it down to you. So that's quarterbacks. Let's hurry up. I know this is already 7.5 minutes long. Let's run through the running backs. Get it? Run through the running backs. Anyway, running backs, Marshawn Lynch. He's beast. He's beast mode. I think he's going to do great against the Saints. I think he's going to get a couple touchdowns, as long as his coaches aren't still upset about him flipping him off. Jamal Charles, he's a beast going up against the Broncos defense. He didn't have a good time last time out in Denver against the Broncos. He's at home. I think he's going to do great this week against the Broncos defense. Andre Brown, up and down, but when he has his good games, he really has his good games. I think he's going to have a good game this week, and I hope he just runs through defenses, gets a couple touchdowns, shows why he's number one. Matt Forte, he catches it, he runs, he finds the open man to go right around, he spins, he stays up on his feet, he's agile, is however you're going to put it. He gets what he needs. Yards after catch and yards after, it's unreal. But get him in there if you can. Adrian Peterson, he's beast. Hamstring, I think it's healed now. I haven't heard much about it. Just like I say all the time, make sure before game time that the people are in and everyone's ready to go. And should be fine. And then we got MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew. He's had a touchdown in the last 3 weeks. I think he continues that. Jacksonville's Jacksonville, so there's not really many more people on the team besides him and Cecil Shorts that the QB throws it to, hands it off. So, I mean, take what you can get with MJD. His price is pretty low on daily fantasy sites. He has had touchdowns. He has had touches. But again, it is the Jaguars, so you have to just tread lightly with that. Then you got Chris Johnson, Tennessee. I don't think Fitzpatrick's going to have as good a game as he did last week, which means in the air he's not going to do much, and he's going to hand it off to CJ. And when CJ is CJ2K, he's good. Is he going to be good this week? I feel he's going to have a good game. I don't know if he's going to get touchdowns, but I think he'll outproduce his price. And it's on FanDuel is what I use, so check all those prices out before you go ahead. If he's in your year-long league, obviously you'll probably be using him. Shane Vereen, I'm up in the air with Shane Vereen. you saw the last week, the fumbles, the 3 fumbles, the first 3 possessions of the Patriots versus Broncos. But then we know that the Patriots came back. But Brandon Bolden, who's next, so we'll jump right in. Brandon Bolden could have a good game. Shane Vereen, is he Ridley? Are they gonna fumble? Garrett Blount, are they gonna fumble? We never know. They have so many running backs that they can use. So tread lightly on that. Daily fantasy sites, I don't know. I'd just kind of stay clear from the running backs from New England because we don't know who they're going to play. So, number 10, Frank Gore. Pooped his pants last week. I know this from experience because I did not win last week for only the second time this year. But I think he's going to have a good game this week. He has to get more than 30 yards. He has to. There's no way he can't. So, Frank Gore, he's a pretty good price on FanDuel for most of his production that he's had this year. So, look for him. I'm just going to run through wide receivers because I know this is really, really long. Wide receivers, A.J. Green. As long as Dalton can just not choke and they come off a bye, I think A.J. Green has a great week this week. Josh Gordon kind of pooped his pants all the way until like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Then, boom, ran up and had 29.10 fantasy points for me this week. Had over 200 yards. I think he's going to do that again. I think Whedon... it's going to be good. I think Josh Gordon's probably one of the premier wide receivers this week. Brandon Marshall, he's a stud. You can't stop him. No matter what. So if you want to pay up for him because you know he always has a good game unless he's hurt. Then you've got Larry Fitzgerald. He had 2 touchdowns right off the bat at the beginning of the game last week. He's good. He's tall. He can jump. He's good. So again, his price comes with it, and he's been doing. You've seen what he's done all year. He's pretty good. The secondary they're going up against is not that good. I think they're going to have I think Fitzgerald's going to outproduce his price easily. Pierre Garçon, it depends on how RG3 is doing. If he can't get the ball downfield, Garçon's not going to get anything. If he can get a couple screen passes, he can run it through. I think he has a better game than he did last week. Riley Cooper, as long as Nick Foles is on board as the QB, Riley Cooper is the guy to go to. Huge games from Riley Cooper ever since Nick Foles took over for starter. I think Riley Cooper has a great game this week. He's got a medium price, so we can afford him and get some bigger names in there. T.Y. Hilton, he's up and down. I feel he's the one who's going to step in place of Reggie Wayne while he's gone. And I think he has a good game this week because Andrew Luck had a bad game last week. He usually follows up with a good game. So pump him up there, ready to go. Let's go. Dwayne Bowe, he showed up last week. He's going up against the Broncos defense that obviously their offense is good. There's no denying that. Their defense is their defense. Obviously, they just gave up a 24-point lead after halftime, then blew the game and lost it. So their defense, they had 26 fantasy points before halftime, and I think they ended up with like 13 fantasy points after everything was done. So you got to be careful. Dwayne Bowe should have a good game. Kendall Wright, just depends if Fitz is good or not. That's another toss-up, and it is the Titans. Keenan Allen, he avoided injury. He's good. He's going up against him and Phillip Rivers seem to connect all the time. Will they connect this week up against the defense? I'm not sure. So I kind of staying clear of that. Top 5 tight ends. I just don't have the top 10. Rob Gronkowski, he's a beast. His price shows that he's a beast. So you got to. But if you save money with the lower tiers that we had, you can afford him. Jimmy Graham, he is expensive. He's hurt, but he plays through that hurt. We just don't know what he's going to go through, especially against Seahawks in Seattle. Hurt, high price. He's up there because of production, but he scares me away with his foot and the price, so you got to take what you can. Kobe Fleener, again, another one, product of Andrew Luck. If Andrew Luck has a good game, Fleener could have a good game, and he's a low price. Rob Hausler is a very low price. He could have a good game depending on the QB. It's all dependent. It's not one person doing this. It's got to depend on the defense. It's got to depend on how good the actual quarterback is. And Vernon Davis. Depends on if Kaepernick decides to be selfish and keep running it, not handing it off. Vernon Davis is still healthy, who they're going up against. It's everything comes together when we think about stuff like this. So, and on defense and kicker, usually what I do with kicker, I look who the kicker's going against. I look how many field goals they go, how many they allow from 20, 30, 40, 50, the percentage that the kicker usually makes. Then I look for weather conditions. Now, weather's going to play a big part. That's why I usually find a kicker who's in a dome, who's cheap. And then defense, it's really toss up in defense. It's like you can take anyone going against Jacksonville, and then boom, I took that, and then Jacksonville killed them. So it's very random. You have to check all that out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember to check my fantasy blog over at fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. I'm now a premier writer over on another site as well, and once I get all my content up there, I'll show you guys that. Hope you guys enjoy. Put all this money, make some money in FanDuel. After you make money this week, let me know. Comment, subscribe, follow my blog. I have a PlayStation 4 giveaway. Just depends on how many people I get on there today. Check all that out. Good luck this week, NFL Week 13. Bring home the bacon. Good luck. Let's make money together.